everybody. We're back at GT Sport for day race 3 or weekly race 3. This is the longest race of the week, and this is the LMP, or well, the Group 1, but I call it the LMP series. Everyone runs LMPs here at Fuji. Interesting enough, last weekend upon recording this was the race at Fuji in got close to the other Toyota, I believe it is in front. Was the Fuji race in real World Endurance Championship, which is great. I love Fuji. It's so much more enjoyable track to drive recently. So then I make contact on the warm-up with another driver, the German in the Rebellion, as I'm driving my Toyota, not my design as always, and then that happens because that guy decides to be fun. Warm-up over, and I get a penalty. Thanks, GT Sport. Not my Toyota design as always. I will put a link to the description. Link in the description, sorry, of the guy who made it. Thank you to whoever made it. Yeah. So starting well down the order, which I didn't actually clock there. So this is the Group 1 Fuji International Speedway, the daily race C. I love this track. There's a couple of drivers in front, lots of drivers in front. The pole sitter in 919. I am down in 16th position there, so a 1:28.3, scruffy qualifying lap time from me. So I sit here in the pink and blue car as we look behind me. I love this livery. The guy who did it did such a good job. So 14 laps here in Fuji, 23-minute video. Let's see what we can do at this circuit. There will be a pit stop midway through as the AI drives me, passing through the penalty line as I'm behind the Frenchman in P15. 2, 1, and we go here at Fuji. It's a good start from me, relatively good. I'm trying to angle the car to follow the P15 car, the number 19 car in front of me, a little bit closely, as I remember that there are people behind me, so I want to behave. There's some of the Vision car, they're getting bullied, they're the green cars. I go a little bit deep on the brakes, perfect braking, a bit squeezed into one. Got to remember to change my radar. I'd left it on my fuel. But I did pass it, big accident there, someone was at wide, it's okay. You come up towards the left-hander. I don't know corner names or corner numbers here at Fuji, I can only apologise. You come through the fast double right-hander, I love this corner. There's the late apex. It was double right-hander I say, because you have to put 2 steering inputs in now into the heavy braking zone. Already up 5 positions as we're now in P11. Only on lap 1. And lap 1 always is crazy at Fuji. As we follow on and we try and catch up with the guy in front. I think it's the Toyota in front as we brake hard now into sector 3. So the Toyota, we'll see him again later on in the race, Cheesecake. But as we run up now into the tight and twisty bends, I love this section. I had so much pace here. Tonight, actually, I'm filming this on the same night I filmed it. But I had so much pace here as we run through towards the penultimate corner and now into the final corner here. Gotta get it right. I went with a completely different angle to everyone else. I went a much shallower, sharper angle, which on lap 1 didn't work. But we'll see what happens as I get a better launch than the guy in P12 from me. So now they all have penalties. I now run up hoping to pass P10 as they're all weaving. I'm sticking behind a Greek driver as quickly as I can. There is the Rebellion that I hit in practice, or hit me, sorry, in practice. So I brake, I try not to go down the inside of the other Rebellion, the Greek Rebellion, and I get squeezed to the curb just a little bit. I lose the rear end and I catch it. Luckily though. Number 4, I give him a lot of room because I know that he abused me in warm-up, so I didn't want to hit him again as we run through the double right-hander. He gets a penalty for running wide. I think this is the one race where I didn't actually get a penalty, which I was quite happy about. As we now run up into sector 3 once more. It's an action-packed race from start to finish, and I really enjoyed driving it. It went so quickly. So we're running up now behind the German number 4 car of someone. Dyslexic names. Purple lap time, well, I said it up to as we're running now into sector 3. You see someone go side by side and gave over it, come together behind me. Frosty and I think that's Warlock. Or Wavelock, one of the two, and the German is struggling. It's quite a big bunch of drivers together as the yellow flags are waving in front. And lifting off just a little bit, try and get the car turned in now into the final corner. Sorry, the penultimate corner into the final corner. Now, as I go up the inside of the Greek driver, he almost entered on me. I get a little bit frosty on the power. He goes out wide. I keep my line tight and able to just power past him with the boost so much quicker. And I go past Constantine give him a little flash of my hazards, because I decided to be a bit of an arse. On to lap 2 now. Not lap 3, sorry, as we now run in P9 of the race. P9 is always a good position, but I always find P8 just a little bit better as I go chasing after the other German in the stock Toyota livery from 2016, or maybe it's a 2019 one. I remember they changed it slightly, but you know, most of us are running Toyotas here in Fuji. It's hard to behave, though I would be running an Audi R8 with the GS livery if I could. Now running here into sector 2, the half sector 2, this nice long right left-hander. Now running into the run to sector 3. I was very quick through here, but right now the battle for the lead is going forward. But I'm focused on my battle. Purple through here. I was really enjoying this track at the start of the race. Heavy fuel, always when I'm strongest on heavy fuel in these types of races, especially in Formula 1, but this is obviously a completely different ballgame with sports cars here. So you see up ahead, the 2 Germans dicing it out in 2 LMP1 cars as always. Now we're looking at the back, hoping to overtake them, hoping one of them will make a mistake, and they do get close to touching, but they are in front. Lots of Germans in this race, and this time I'm going to have to work for it if I want to get up into P8. So, as I sip my coffee, watching myself drive. Fastest lap I've done, and I actually was pretty on par with the leaders, about 6 steps off the leader. Not bad. Could have been worse if we brake hard into 1. I couldn't get the braking point right on 1, and there is another reason why, because Rick chuck it up the inside. I got SR rating for that. I don't this game sometimes. Braking hard, I get so close to someone later on, which is so cool. That I don't make contact with the back of them, but that will come later as we are on lap 4 out of 14 here in Fuji. I'm experimenting with different lines, we're going to leave it out in the marble, see what will happen. That will come back to bite me later on. And on power, it really does there. You see the electric power of the Toyota engine in the back blasting me away as we run down into sector 3. I was so much more committed on the brakes than Waverick. Little bit too committed, I will say, as I almost ran out and actually lost time to the Dutch driver in front. God, I hope that's Dutch. I'm bad with flags, I'm sorry. As we look now, looking towards lap 5, I've got to get past a few more drivers that currently in P9. And the pit stops are going to be a thing as I run now into... I could have probably... Well, I'll mention that in a minute. This is the joy of doing a post-race comm. I can think about things, but I might spoil things that happen. So, lap 5, I've got a 2-second gap behind me, a 1-second gap in front of me, and now I'm quick. Braking now into 1. Still trying to match that braking point. I've always found Fuji's turn 1 pretty difficult, but it's such a fun track, so fast and so just exuberating to drive. I really enjoy it. It brings out a good smile on my face whenever I see Fuji on the calendar to drive for the week here in GT Sport, to keep eyes focused on getting past the Toyota in front. You hear me punishing my soft tyres as we get closer towards the pit stop window, but that will come as I take a little bit of I think I had a bit of a slower lap this time round, as I try and think about ways to get past them. They're all like jetting away because they've got slipstream. I'm just thinking, right, what have I got to do to get this right? And there was a mistake from Waverick, and I think I can try and get through sooner rather than later as we look towards the back of that Toyota in front. I don't know what number it is. I'm number 13 in this race, which made me very happy. Maybe it's because of how much I enjoyed it. Maybe that's because I had such a good race. Sorry, how much I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this race because I did well in it. There, attacking into the final corner. I know the final sector, we make contact there. I'd say he turned in on me, but at the same time I wasn't fully along, and that was a bit of a suicidal move from me. Anyway, as we look towards trying to pass him, yeah, I've mocked him up a little bit, but I think on the straights he was quicker than me at this point. Lap 6 out of 14 now, so the lap's ticking away, and I'm currently still in P9. Remember, starting in P16, sorry, in this race, as we now on the back of Waverick, still in the Toyota. The number 16 car, I found it fun at one point that we had, and I'll point it out again, at one point we had number 12, number 13 and number 14 racing for one position, which is quite fun as I run behind Waverick now, carrying more speed through that double right-hander. Well, I say double right-hander still, but might not be, might be classed as one single corner. I don't mind, I quite like saying it's a double right-hander. As we run now towards sector 3, what can we do as I try? I think I get a little bit overexcited on the brake here. Yes, overexcited on the brakes. They go very deep there. Managed to cut across the track though, so I do not get reset, and that would have been a race killer if I'd been reset by the game there. As I now try and scrub off the dirt that I gained on my tyres. Again, you can tell that my ABS is definitely working in this race as I hammer the brake, and now I get close to the back of Frosty, getting close to the back of me as I run a little bit wider than I normally like in the final corner. But yeah, I think around this time my tyres were definitely starting to struggle, as my battery is only 3/4 of the way full. Running now, thinking much more about defending, because Frosty has got some absolute pace in his Toyota. Looks towards the outside, no, ducks towards the inside. I now duck back to the outside line, and I follow that Frosty through, hoping to get underneath him. I has a lift off just a little bit so I don't hit him. Has a lift off there so I also don't hit him. Yeah, didn't want to hit him at all, because I don't know if Frosty was a good guy to race with, because he didn't just smack me off, which many people do in these races. As we get closer now, drop down to P10. This is around the time when the tyres are starting to struggle in the race. My soft tyres definitely struggling on the outside of the car as we turn into sector 3. The Spaniard in P8, I think that's Pabloso, is definitely starting to struggle on his tyres. But yeah, this is always fun to see myself just being a little bit more wary on the brakes after last lap's excursion to the grass. Through the final sector, and yeah, the tyres are definitely giving up on this car, so I want to know, I was tossing up trying to go one lap later or think about pushing this lap, and I thought I'd go with the masses, so I'd brake a little bit harder into the final sector to try and get the car turned in. And now I'm looking towards what everyone else is doing. Do I go with the masses? Do I go one more lap? Drivers are trying to make the decisions. Pablo definitely make it obvious he's going to pit lane. At this point I decided I'm going to pit lane too. My indicator's on saying I am pitting this lap. You see Frosty just dart straight across the track. That's a bit naughty for Frosty. I'm trying to gain time with Pablo in the pit lane, but trying not to hit him and get closer, touch the white lines at all. Now into pit lane. I select another set of softs. Now, as my tyres get changed, I did do a little bit of a splash fuel. There we go, quick fuel. So a 7-second stop, now back on track. Total time in pit lane was 13 seconds. I actually jumped Pablo, so he took a little bit more fuel than me into turn 1, a little bit deep and round in the marbles because I was struggling on the cold tyres. Now I'm on the charge. I've got lower fuel than Pablo, and I've got to get moving. Waverick did pit from what I remember as we run through. We're very wide there on the run to the long right-hander. And that's really suffering. I'm already punishing the car. I mean, I'm just a car abuser and a tyre abuser here in GT Sport. I drive the car much harder than F1, get a slight slide as I go too deep and hit the marbles, and Pablo's through, the number 14 is through. Remember, I'm driving number 13 in this car. As I try and make it a little bit more like I'm doing dangerous moves, like I'm going to just chuck it at the inside on the car in P11. I just want to get past Pablo. Pablo's a good guy as we run up leader pits here in the Daily Race C. Now braking hard as I come into the final sector. This is where I'm strongest, and I decided around this time of the race I am the strongest here, taking the faster, more qualifying line than the slingshot line that everyone else was as I try and get in there. Pablo's wise to my tricks though. He cut across me. Now powering now up the start finish straight. I love this start finish straight because it's so long yet so unpredictable the way the line moves here in Fuji. Running now towards the inside. Do I duck to make a dive bomb on him? I make it obvious I'm going to, but I decide not to. Try and make Pablo feel a little bit squirmy as I run into turn 1. I think I've got him there. I think he was a little bit more hesitant on the power than he would have liked. So, lap 9. Not long to go. 6 laps to go as we come across sector 1. I'm 2 tenths slower than my best time. Pablo a little bit crossed up in his Toyota as we run towards each other. I'm skimming the grass there as I try and gain as much time as I can on the Spaniard in front. And I can't get around him. His Toyota he drove the widest Toyota ever. Looking behind me trying to work out where Cheesecake is. I don't want to get too close to him. Getting closer and closer to the back of Pablo, so even closer. Look how close that was. the back of him, though not the closest I've got to the drivers. And now we come into the final sector. These turns are where I'm fastest. I run a little bit wide, but normally I actually used to struggle heavily at this part of the track, but no, I got so much better, and this is where I'm strongest. I'm keeping it on the line. Pablo will go down the inside at the final corner. Pablo leaving me room because he knows he's got to. We touch a little bit on exit. I think, in fairness, that was just the nature of the corner. We were always going to pin up to one another, but we need. In fairness, I'm sitting there. I've got my radar on. I can see where he is on the radar. I know he's going to try and move there. No, he tries to the outside. He doesn't duck to the inside because he sees I'm just letting the car drift that low down. And into turn 1, what's my reaction? Brake about the same. No, brake a little bit later. I actually nailed turn 1 this time. A little bit slow on exit as I slide, hitting the curb. And then I run a little bit wide and slide again. And thank goodness me for the ghosting there. As I almost hit Pablo. He must have been thinking, Gorp, what's he done that for? So now all my hard work was redone as we on to lap 10. Lap 10 is never a good lap for me. You run into the middle sector. And there's an accident in front. The Frenchman who I actually started behind is off the track. Sorry, no, it's Waverick. Not Frenchman. What am I about? It's Wavelock. Waverick, there we go. Names. Driver who we battled with so far along. And there's the Frenchman who actually started behind in P8. He's a good race. And I mucked up the entrance to Sector 3 once more, as I cannot remember. I'm so scatterbrained. So, trying to clean up the marbles off the track. I had a really bad lap on lap 10, really bad. I think it might be my slowest lap comparatively, apart from my pit stop laps. So running up now into the final set, again still taking that shallow line because it's the fastest line I can have there, and behind me Cheesecake is closed right up upon my Japanese gearbox, and I look back, there he is. Number 9th place, number 19 getting out the way as I tuck behind him to get a nice boost to try and stay ahead of Cheesecake. I do pass the Frenchman, and Cheesecake does as well. This is where it gets fun. Cheesecake brakes super duper late. He gets bounced off by the Frenchman, who then he hits me. I then try and run up alongside him. I lose half of that. I didn't do anything. The Frenchman hit him. Tapier, I think his name is, or Tapier. I don't know. 2010 guy hit him. As we look at number 12, obviously number 14's running away, and I'm number 13. Look how close I get there! Look at letting the aerodynamics of the car working as I run up on the back of Cheesecake, trying not to hit him off, hassle him into a mistake. And I slip up the inside and go, hello, goodbye. And letting my Toyota car just speed up and fly away. The hybrid power giving me that extra boost off the corners. Now braking hard into sector 3. I'm a little bit slow there, braking way too early as I try, and there, Pablo, so making a mistake, sliding. I'm going to try it up the inside here, not a conventional overtaking move. I drift out wide, and he knows that, and that's cost me a position against Cheesecake. A little bit of impatience on my part as I run up behind the second Toyota. Lots of Toyotas, as I said, in this race, and now, close as we like, thinking as I take a shallower line here, trying to get past Pablo. And Cheesecake running wide. I got past him. Now I need to chuck behind Pablo and hope Pablo doesn't start weaving so I have to follow him. He's sticking to the outside line. I'm gaining as I go towards the inside line, thinking about it. It's going to be a late call wherever I do. I do pull to the inside line, try and telegraph the move. I'm alongside him. I come in, and Pablo just cuts across me. And it's not his fault. I wasn't fully ahead, so it was a bit of a half-assed move from myself, but this has opened myself up to attack from Cheesecake. Off the corner, I boost away, my soft tyres helping, and the fact that I got such low fuel, 3/4 of a tank left as we head on to lap 12 with 3 to go. Through towards sector 2 there, look at how much tighter the line as I'm taking. It's probably not the best line overall, it's more of a hot lap line, but wow, it helps as I look towards the back of the number 14 car, Pablo, I don't know, I'm just going with Pablo, because that looks like an L to me, even though it's an I. Yellow flags in front, that's 7th place. No idea who that was. It was Race. He actually got reset onto me, which actually no, sorry, that was a Cheesecake that got reset onto me. So I don't know how he did, but he reset into my path, and it cost me a lot. And we got very bumpy and bashy there because I wasn't happy that he reset into my path. And I don't think Cheesecake was much too happy with me, to be honest, at that point. So I'm coming up into the final lap now. Onto the penultimate lap now. Whoa, big snap as I accelerate out the corner a little bit too hard, making the car work for its day. 4 tenths is the gap behind, 7 tenths is the gap ahead. I'm looking behind me to check that Cheesecake isn't coming for an attack, though he is closing a lot more than I am on Pablo in front, even though his name's not Pablo, as I realise now. Braking hard, like, let the sort of rock on the brake, seeing that Cheesecake's there, and I'm going to try and hold it around the outside, hitting the curb, but not accelerating harshly enough to cause the car to wheel spin up as I run to the back of Cheesecake now. I dropped to P9 once more. Now, wow, aggressive there on the penultimate lap as we both take to the curbs to try and get past Pablo. German, a Spaniard and a Brit, all in a line. Who's going to come out on top? Find out in a few, as we're watching them charge towards Sector 3. What can I do now? I'm so far back from these guys. I'm about 6 tenths away from them. Cheesecake trying to move on the Spaniard, the number 14, as I now run on the back of Cheesecake. I'm just trying to find any moment where they're weak, any sector that I can just slip it up the inside or slip it round the outside. I know this is the strongest sector for me. I carry a lot more speed than everyone else through here, because they're aggressive. I run over a bollard there and into there, into here. He was offline, so I chucked it up the inside. Yet he spins up on the curve here and cuts across me, and he hits me twice. I don't think that I did anything wrong there, and you know, I might have to look at it again, but I don't think I did anything wrong. He looks like he just span up on the curve and just span across me, because I was straightening out the car. I was straight from what I saw. I don't know. Final lap though, as now I'm on the back of Pablo. I've got no fuel left in the car. Well, the engine light hasn't done thinking yet, but my fuel is low. My tyres are starting to be a little bit more second-hand. Luckily I was a little bit kinder on the start of this second stint on the softs. Running to pass the Spaniard in front. The second gap to the Frenchman behind. Frosty's actually the fastest man on the track. I'm not sure where Frosty is at this point. So I'm running behind Pablo, number 14. I'm definitely closing. His tyres must be shot, or his fuel is. I wonder if he did the whole race on one set of tyres. I don't think. No, he didn't. He pitted. He had longer left stop to change it unless he refueled fully fueled. Final sector for the final time here at Fuji, and Pablo's starting to make mistakes. He's starting to sweat. He wants this P7, and we're running up into Sector 3 towards the first of the right-handers, which will turn into the left-hander. Pablo's wide, just a little bit on the line. I'm accelerating out, trying to find any little motion, and here into the final couple of corners, which is where I'm strongest. I'm so close, I accelerate onto the curve. I'm looking to the inside line. I've got to make one last ditch attempt, and we're side by side. Pablo leaves me room, I leave him room, and now we accelerate out. It's a drag race towards the line. Who's got more power? Who's got more energy? We're so close to one another. It's gonna be, as we run to the line, who's gonna be on top? Who's gonna be in 7th place? It's Pablo. The Spaniard gets 7th and I get 8th. But I'm okay with that, because crikey me, that was a good race. I quite enjoyed that. Cheesecake ultimately finishing 12th. I don't know, to be honest with the incident. But look at the amount of Toyotas. We had Toyotas all the way down to 10th. That's how powerful the Toyota is here in Fuji. Nonetheless, here are the confirmed results. Get a nice glance at my new suit I've made for this design. Matching my helmet as best I can. Raised my position by 8 places. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra guys, have a good weekend.